You disappoint me, String. I had such fucking hopes for us.
Have a nice day, officer.
Wow, that was a clip from one of the most iconic, legendary TV series to ever exist. Some have even gone as far as to say it's the best TV series ever. We've heard that from some really reputable people. And one of the cast members who's here today, DB keeps saying it, he played
Jimmy McNulty, who we just heard in that clip, who was talking to Stringer Bell, played by Idris Elba. And we were actually telling our guests, I don't want to get into it just now, a funny story about Idris, but I mean, maybe we can get into that a little bit later.
Well, you got to since you introduced it.
All right.
Okay,
So
you just said it to the listeners. By the way, let's say who's in the room. The one and only
Dominic West. All right, so before we came up just now, we were talking to Dominic about the cast of The Wire. And Idris used to actually be a bouncer at Caroline's Comedy Club, which is like very close to here at Sirius. So we were telling him that he wasn't aware of that. And then also the last time Idris came up to Sirius, Greg Charles, who works at Caroline's, is good friends with him from back in the day. So anyway, they took a picture together, and Greg posted the photo on his Facebook. But he didn't realize was that Idris was wearing some very tight pants, and his manhood was very bulging in his pants, and the shit went viral. So everybody was like, Idris' dick size is huge. And so Greg felt so bad because he didn't even realize he had posted. So anyway, that was the story.
I want a picture like that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And look what it did for Idris' career.
Yeah, man.
That's why.
Well, we've seen enough of your ass. You know, man. I've seen a lot of. I'm tired of looking at Noah Soloway's ass, man. God damn. You ain't got a problem showing your ass, though, Dominic.
Watch reruns.
Did they teach you that in drama school?
Oh yeah, that was second year. Yeah,
second year.
Whole year. Yeah.
It's an art to showing your ass, right?
Yeah, it takes a lot of makeup and a lot of, Well, Idris likes to use a little augmentation. I want to get my hands on some of that.
Some of that augmentation. Dominic West is here,
Don't
man.
we all?
Wow, man. What did you know when you were in The Wire that it would become? Like, did you have a feeling like there's been times we done things on this show and I was like, man, that was a magic moment. You know, I know that's going to resonate for years. Did you feel that way about The Wire?
Well, I do now. At the time, no, I was just trying to go home. I was. No one was watching. Well, I mean, we had a lot of fans in Baltimore and in law enforcement and. But no one. It didn't go really big, really, until we wrapped it, really. And so I had no idea, but it's been the gift that keeps on giving. You know,
keeps on
giving.
It's
10 years since we did it, and I still get people coming up in the street.
Are you cool with any, like Michael K. Williams or Idris or any of the people, the cast members that were on?
Yeah. I see it sort of. Yeah, I see all those guys. I see Andre and Wendell and. Sonia, and they're all actually godparents to my kids. So
wow.
But they never remember.
They're godparents.
So I have to call them up and say, he's got a birthday tomorrow. She hasn't heard from me for 10 years.
That's funny. Hey, do people on the street still approach you as your character from The Wire? Do they think you're him?
Not quite. No,
not quite.
No,
you don't get that.
No, I don't. But I get people coming up saying they sing it for the first time, which is amazing.
Wow.
Wow,
you having a string of luck, man. This dude he's batting 1,000 right here. Have to be The Affair as my. Let's talk about The Affair.
You watch that?
He does.
Come on, man. I got to figure out what really happened to Allison. You know what I mean? Yes, I watched The Affair. I love the way it's shot. Yeah. I love the flash forwards and the flashbacks and
you're right.
The different perspective that it gives of everybody seeing the same scene, but
you never know what's happened. So you don't know who killed her.
No, I don't. I do.
No, I think it's left sort of ambiguous, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, shit, I thought I knew. Maybe I don't know who killed her.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't me.
Well,
anyway.
I thought it was
the man.
The man that she started dating. That was married and hid that from her.
Yeah, I thought it was him, but someone said they didn't realize it was him.
Really? It had to be him.
Well, it was either she committed suicide or he did it.
Or he pushed her into the ocean.
It was a spectacular death. I think at that point, Ruth and the writer were, probably arguing a little. So I was interested to see how the writer was going to kill her off. And she did a triple sort of death. She got raped to death, and then a Buddhist statue fell onto her head, and then he threw her in the ocean. So she really went through it.
What? He's cracking up. What kind of mind do you have, man?
But this is the writer. This isn't me.
God.
Ray,
raped to death. That made you laugh?
Buddhist
And the
statue
Buddhist
floated
statue
there.
crushed her skull, Sway. What the hell just happened here, Dominic? Man, dude, you're not the guy I thought you were. Hold up. Jennifer's on the line from Hoboken. What up, Jen? How you doing?
Stand up.
How you guys doing?
Doing okay.
Hi, Jennifer.
Yes, hi. I'm so devastated they killed Ruth off the show. So now, I mean, we got to have you have more naked scenes on the show. So we got to get that popping with some new characters, right?
Well, I was hoping one of the younger lot would take over on that, do a bit of time on that one. I'm getting a bit long in the tooth.
Any speculation on, I think maybe, they haven't really showed it, but I think maybe next season we're going to see Joshua Jackson's wife on the show. Maybe she did something to get rid of her because, she didn't like her.
That's
interesting.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Yo, Jennifer is really into this thing. Yeah. Next season.
I think that's a great idea.
That's a good idea. That's a next.
Well, I look forward to next season. And do you have any tips and tricks you can share with us? Or not
What
yet?
about next year? I don't know what's happening. I'm seeing everyone in a couple of weeks to put in my pitch, and I think that's going to be my pitch. Get Josh's wife back with a meat cleaver.
Okay.
Oh.
Finish me off, maybe.
You okay? Yeah, just finish yourself off and leave a mystery and frame somebody else about it. All right, thanks for your call. Maybe Cole will be guilty of finishing you off.
Yeah, I think that would be.
Heather, you have no clue. You don't even watch a segment. You don't even watch a second of the affair.
I'm sorry.
You gotta watch the affair. That's a good one. All right.
I got the box set. You can $22.99. It's yours.
Charles, go ahead. What you want to say?
Hey, Charles.
Oh, you guys talking to me?
Yeah, man. Yeah,
Charles Boo.
I love Dominic West, awesome actor. I don't know what it is like to work on such an amazing show like The Affair or The Wire. Amazing co-stars, shows that push television forward.
Thank you.
We already talked about the storytelling going back and forth. It's amazing, and I think it's a sleeper that a lot of people should get into. It's amazing television. That's all I wanted to say. I'm glad.
Thanks very much. That's really kind. It's great working on those shows. As you say, it's really all about the other actors. We have a good time, and I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Hey, man, it's one last season next year, right?
This is it.
This is it, right?
Number
Season
5. Yeah.
Number 5. Damn,
Yeah.
what am I going to do? All right, so we're going to come back. You got a new movie.
Not that much to catch up on.
Yeah,
I got you.
it's good, Heather.
What time does it come on?
Don't even worry about
So
it. You can just binge now,
Right. You got to start from the beginning anyway.
Yeah,
All
you
right.
got a couple seasons to go. You got a new biographical film. It's called Colette.
Yeah, it's called Colette. It's about the French writer Colette, and I play her husband, who encouraged her to write by locking her in a room, and then sold her work as his own, and then sold the rights to it. So he's not the greatest guy, another villain really, but it's a great film. It's set in Paris in the beginning of the 20th century, and it's. They were an amazing couple. They were the sort of Kim and Kanye of their day. They'd have been big into social media. They were selling their private lives. Any scandal they could create more publicity for. And she was a sort of she became the big star, and he was the guy pushing the brand and the publicity.
He was the entrepreneur. She was the true star.
Yeah, she was the talent. He was the publicist.
He was the crook. We'll talk more about that. He stifled her. He wanted to stifle her voice, right? He didn't want her to really come out. We'll talk more about it, and you can fill me in, all right? Dominic West is here, 888-742-3345. Give us a call.
I'll do anything.
I know who you are, Willie. Maybe I knew it all along, but I want you not to lie to me.
I won't. Never again. I promise.
Wow, that's a clip from Colette, which is in theaters on September 21st. And Dominic West is here. He plays Henry. How do you say it? Gaultier? How do you say it?
Yeah, Gaultier Villard. Yeah, it was quite a long name, which is shortened to Willie, which is much easier.
It was Willie, right?
Yeah.
And this is based on a true story.
Yeah, no, this is totally. It's totally true. Yeah, they were this incredible couple in Paris, and he was the most famous writer in Paris at the time. He was a sort of James Patterson type guy who had a stable full of writers. He was the publishing phenomenon. And then he had people writing for him and producing bestsellers, and most of them slightly erotic books that were huge hits.
Mm-hmm.
And then he married this girl who was 19, who he found in the countryside in France, and sort of spotted her talent, and she published under his name.
Mm-hmm.
Or basically he took her stories and sold them as his own. And then she outgrew him and left him alone and became sort of the biggest female writer in French history, really.
And she created the character Claudine, right?
She created this character called Claudine, who was, and it was all about. This was this huge phenomenon in Paris at the time. Who she was this cool. She was a sort of original teenager. There was no conception in those days of teenagers, of kids who were understood the adult world but weren't quite adult. And so this was the first portrayal really of a teenager and a teenager's life and views on Paris and sex, and it was a massive sensation, and everyone was reading it, everyone was trying to be Claudine. And Willie sort of cashed in and was did all the merchandising. He sold soap and everything. He sold all sorts of merchandising, and he was kind of ahead of his time in that way in understanding all that stuff.
So he kind of pimped her out, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, right. Okay. I see what you mean.
Simplified it.
Yeah, I see what you mean. I see what
It took
you
me
mean.
a long time to say.
Yeah. But that was eloquent and beautiful. You're from,
Willie is a pimp name.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Willie Dynamite, then call a pimp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, write this book, bitch.
He might have been the first pimp, right? And then but she was dealing with identity issues, with sexual identity issues not even issues, but she was into women as well, right?
She was, yes.
Yeah,
So she fell in love with this woman who was called Missy, who identified as a man, and she dressed as a man in days when you could get arrested if you wore a pair of trousers if you were a woman. And so they were both pretty courageous pioneers, really. And so, yeah, Colette goes off with Missy, and Willie, for all his faults, was pretty broad-minded about that. He didn't mind. He didn't mind the female lovers.
Care about a threesome? I mean,
that is, yeah. It's sort of in the film that, yeah.
Yeah.
It didn't. It was a threesome, but not at the same time.
Not at the same. Exactly.
So the same lover. They shared lovers, and
yeah.
And he wasn't so cool if she went off with a guy, but he was fine with the other girls. But so in anyway,
Go break that down for him, Heather.
Yeah. Well, I'm worried about Dominic, actually, personally, because I'm thinking about the sex scenes in The Wire, and the affair, and now this crazy-ass pimp Willie. What attracts you to these roles, Dominic?
What? Is there nudity
I'm worried
in it?
about you. Yeah, what's going on?
There isn't nudity because I wear 3 different fat suits,
Okay.
and I have this huge, ridiculous walrus moustache, so I can't really get near anyone which is quite makes a change. And so I don't know what attracts me. I suppose I like villains who don't act good but are in some way likable. It makes them more interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a product of his time. He's a misogynist. His views of women are of their time, and I suppose you have to have those views to see how much of a pioneer she was and how courageous she was. But yeah, it's another villain. But you start playing Noah Soloway, and you get all the villain parts.
You get the villain parts.
Yeah.
Are you single, man? In real life?
No, I'm married. No, I'm married.
Oh, okay, cool. You got a very confident wife.
She is. Yeah, she is. We got 5 kids too. So,
Oh, damn. All right. So she's like, I've seen this before, ladies. Go ahead. Feast your eyes on that.
That's hilarious, actually. I was reading, Dominic, that you and your wife had decided to raise your children in Ireland.
Not really. She's from Ireland,
Okay.
and so she's always trying to. Yeah, she wants to do that. Yeah,
Not trying to start no family arguments.
I'd be into it too, but I don't know how much work there is for me in Ireland. That's the only problem. So yeah, she was raised in Ireland in this beautiful place on the River Shannon, and we go there the whole time, but we haven't quite made the jump to send all the kids to school there yet.
Okay, gotcha.
All right, Dominic West is here. Colette is a new movie on the film that's in theaters September 21st.
I was just curious because of the setting of this movie. Like, you don't really have to change your accent, your natural accent that much. So for something like The Wire, where you have to do a Baltimore American accent, which is very specific, how do you hone in on it? Because that's kind of tough. At least it seems like it would be for me.
Yeah, well, you got it. I mean, the advantage with The Wire and in a way with that's certainly with The Wire. We were living there. We were there 6 months a year, so you're surrounded, and then the accent sort of came relatively easily. But then if we got a British director, which we often did on The Wire for some reason, and then if Idris and I would chat to each other, then my accent would go out the window. But he kept his accent there, and he actually kept away from me. He said, "God, keep it the fuck off, guy. I'm trying to do the accent." And it was the same with Ruth Wilson in The Affair. She's British, obviously, and so it's tricky to jump backwards and forwards. But I've been doing it for so long now that hopefully I've got better at it.
Oh man, hey Dominic, it's great to meet you, man. Good to meet you, brother. I was gonna give you the full handshake, but I saw you wipe your nose, so kind of gave you the finger shake.
the fingertips
right there, dude. He was like, "Damn, am I gonna go in? What the fuck?" But anyway, man,
McNasty.
Shit. Knows us all the way. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. All right.
Damn, all right. Man, continue success. Yeah, man, I didn't know how to pull out of it, but great having you on the show, man.
Yeah.
It's really awesome having you on the show. We appreciate your work. Continued success. To our citizens, make sure you check out this film, Colette. Theaters next week, September 21st, and whatever you're doing next, man, come back and see us. All right?
Thanks, I'd love to.